This is my Story Protocol price prediction. We're breaking down whether IP could become the backbone of AI-driven commerce or just another overhyped token. The intellectual property market is worth over $61 trillion and Story Protocol is aiming to tokenize and monetize IP just like Bitcoin did for money. It's built as a layer 1 blockchain to create a programmable economy for AI-generated content, creative works, and datasets. The idea is simple. Instead of your work being scraped and used for free, AI models and businesses will need to pay for access through IP-powered smart contracts, and the backing is serious. A16Z and Polychain Capital are behind it. But as we've seen before, hype alone isn't enough. The real question is, will this token have long-term demand, or will early investors dump it as soon as they get the chance? One of the most important things to look out when evaluating a new project is its tokenomics. Who owns the tokens when they unlock and how much of the supply is in circulation. Story Protocol with 1 billion IP tokens, but only 25% are unlocked at launch. That means early price action will be dictated by a relatively small supply, which could drive volatility. The biggest holders are the community and the ecosystem, with 38.4% of the total supply allocated there, followed by early backers holding 21.6% and then the core contributors and initial incentives making up the rest. The fact that early backers and core contributors have a 48-month vesting period is a big deal. This delays massive selling pressure and could help stabilize price movements in the early stages. So what will actually drive the price of IP? The biggest factor is AI adoption. If major AI companies and creators start using Story Protocol for IP licensing, the demand for IP skyrockets. Right now, AI-generated content is growing at an insane rate, and there is no structured way to monetize or protect intellectual property in this space. Story Protocol is trying to be the default licensing and ownership layer for AI models, datasets, and creative works, and if this vision plays out, we're looking at one of the most critical tokens in the AI economy. Another major factor is exchange listings. The real price action will begin when we see major exchanges picking up IP. We've seen other blockchain-based IP projects before, and most of them have failed due to a lack of real adoption. Filecoin and Rwave, for example, tackle decentralized storage, but Story is going further. It's not just storing data, it's building an economy around it. The difference here is that Story Protocol's entire model is built around a real-world need, monetizing AI-generated content and securing ownership rights. One thing that hasn't been talked about much is how IP could be integrated into DeFi. If intellectual property becomes a financial asset, we could see things like borrowing against tokenized IP, staking IP to secure licensing rights, and even on-chain revenue streams for content creators. I think this is where things could get really interesting. If DeFi projects start recognizing IP as a collateralizable asset, it could push IP beyond just utility token into something much bigger. Of course, not everything is guaranteed. The biggest risk to Story Protocol is adoption. If businesses and AI developers don't integrate it, then IP remains just another speculative token. There's also the regulatory risk. Governments could crack down on tokenized IP licensing, especially in markets where AI-generated content is still a legal gray area. And let's be real, big corporations aren't just going to let blockchain take over. But here's why I don't think these challenges are deal breakers. The demand for IP protection in AI is growing exponentially, and no major blockchain has successfully tackled this problem yet. If Story Protocol can secure key partnerships and get AI models actually paying for IP usage, then it's game over for competitors. IP could become one of the most valuable digital assets in crypto. So where is the price actually going? Let's talk about different scenarios. In a best case scenario, AI adoption skyrockets, Story becomes the go-to platform for IP licensing, and major exchanges list IP. In this case, we could be looking at a token that quickly reaches multi-billion-dollar valuations, but in a worst case scenario, adoption is slow, AI companies don't integrate it, and early investors dump their allocations. If that happens, we could see an initial pump followed by a major retrace. I think the most likely scenario is somewhere in the middle. Volatility in the early days with gradual growth as adoption kicks in. Real adoption. So for my own personal strategy, I don't buy and hold projects, I trend trade them, I wait for them to launch and then I trade the trend. I don't gamble into any project, and especially I don't hold a project just hoping that it'll go up. If I buy and hold a project, it's because it is going up, because I'm trading the trend. If it's going down, I'm shorting it and I'm trading the trend the other way. That's why I like volatility and trends over time. With big projects, you can extract a lot of money. That's basically my strategy, and it protects me from not becoming exit liquidity if I hold a project. If the trend changes from an uptrend to a downtrend, I just change my trade accordingly. I hope you all make massive gains. Until next time, peace.